Guys, okay, so I was just writing in my journal and I was talking a little bit about gratitude, and all of a sudden it kind of like clicked for me. So I felt like I wanted to share this insight with you as fast as I got it, so it's as fresh as possible, and also as kind of like a reminder to myself that whenever I feel in doubt about this, I can rewatch this video and actually remember what I realized. Okay, so gratitude is truly a state of inner peace, inner well-being, giving thanks for what you have, giving thanks for what is good in your life. Okay, and if you put your attention onto these things, you will kind of resonate at this level of energy. Okay, and it's going to sound a little bit woo-woo maybe for some of you guys who are not as spiritual, and that's totally fine. Okay, you can click away if you don't agree with these more ethereal terms, but I do. Okay, sometimes I really believe that we can have a certain energy around us, a certain frequency that other people can resonate with or not. Okay, and so I felt taken for granted in my life many times. Okay, I was a typical nice guy who was trying to be nice to people and to gain their validation and recognition because I felt like I needed that. Okay, and the way I tried to get that was by catering to people's needs. Okay, I tried to be a good listener and just abandon myself to gain their validation. But of course it's backwards, right? It's totally backwards. If you're trying to get validation by pretending to be someone that tries to please others, on a subconscious level, it's not genuine, it's not authentic, it's not real. And so you're constantly living in this fearful state, this anxiety that people will figure out who you truly are, and then they will no longer give you the validation that you have been receiving from that behavior. Okay, so I was trying to slave myself into helping others and spending my time, spending my energy in order for me to gain their appreciation, their validation, their gratitude. But I never truly received it. Why? Because I had the wrong intentions. It was to get something. It was not truly because I wanted to give. It was more like I wanted to get something on a subconscious level, right? Of course, I wanted to believe about myself that I was a good person and I wanted to give to others and help. And there is a core inside me that truly wants to do that, okay? But now, for example, I come from a completely different space, a different place, where I no longer need people to validate my existence, or where I no longer need them to constantly show appreciation or gratitude. Okay, and before, when I was younger, I felt taken for granted a lot of the times because I was like, oh, but I'm putting in so much time and effort to support you and you never mention how much it means to you, or you never say thank you. And I felt angry because of that. I grew resentful. There was so much negative energy within me because I felt taken for granted. I felt not being appreciated. And so I started to show less appreciation for life, for myself, for other people. I started to, starve the people around me from my gratitude, from my appreciation, because I felt so hurt for feeling like I was being taken for granted, okay? For feeling like people were not showing appreciation and gratitude for what I was doing for them. Like, can they see that I'm putting in all this time and effort to help them, and are they not even a little bit grateful? And that made me angry. And so, because I was so hurt, when you're not conscious of your hurts, the cycle perpetuates, the negative cycle perpetuates. And I subconsciously wanted to make people feel the pain that I felt for feeling taken for granted. So I was taking other people for granted, and I was not showing appreciation, not showing gratitude. And that, of course, starves yourself even more from the feelings you want to experience regularly, okay? So I got starved from feeling gratitude and from expressing gratitude, from receiving appreciation, from receiving positive energy. And on a subconscious level, people feel that energetic pull or that energetic push because I was in a bad place, okay? And as I was writing in my journal, this like right now, I realized, because currently the past weeks, I have been spending so much time giving thanks for the people in my life, giving thanks for the beautiful weather, giving thanks for all the experiences that made me into who I am today. And I feel endlessly grateful for all these things. And I express this gratitude every single day, okay? And I make it into a habit, and it becomes an automatic behavior almost, right? Like yesterday when I went for the hike with my friend, I told her, I am so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful for the weather. And it becomes an automatic response, a habit. I feel grateful, I express the gratitude. And it feels good to do that and to receive it, okay? She was so positive because I shared my gratitude. She was so sweet and so happy and so thankful that I shared this energy with her. And even though she didn't necessarily say this back to me, her feedback, the way she carried herself, the way she smiled, the way we interacted, showed that she really appreciated me telling her that I was grateful for the day, for her being there. And I'm again also grateful for you watching this video, okay? I'm super grateful for everyone who joined the live stream yesterday. It's just, it becomes a habit for me to say it, to express my appreciation. And people feel that. And so they feel appreciated and they respond in kind. They respond with gratitude. They respond with positive energy. When I go to the gym, okay, I enter the gym, I'm smiling, I'm feeling good, I'm saying hello. Hey man, so good to see you. I appreciate that you, I don't know, wanna help me out here, whatever it may be. Okay, I share gratitude. And people are drawn to that. It's crazy to think about because, you know, I receive so many messages from people. They're inviting me to places, they want to do stuff because I am a positive person, okay? I share my gratitude, I share my happiness, I share my appreciation for things. And I do this by making it into a habit, okay? I wake up and I write in my journal, I am grateful for these and these and these things today because they make me feel connected, because they make me feel good, because they allow me to express, you know, my appreciation for life and the people in it and the people in my life and the people in your life and everyone who is connected to me and to other people that I care about, okay? So I was starving myself from feeling gratitude because I felt taken for granted. And so subconsciously I wanted other people to feel the pain that I felt. So it turned into this dark cycle where, since I was not showing appreciation for people, they didn't want to spend time with me, or they didn't want to, I could feel there was a barrier. I couldn't really connect. And I felt alone. I felt isolated. I felt unloved. And I felt worthless also, okay? And there was this big need for me to feel validated, to feel appreciated. But now I understand. It starts with you. It has to come from within. It has to come from you as a person focusing deliberately on what is good in your life and giving thanks for that and sharing that with other people. And by sharing that, you tune, okay? When I was in that dark place, not giving thanks, I am not attuned to receiving thanks also, okay? People might be broadcasting their gratitude towards me, but since I was so closed off and so focused on the lack, so focused on feeling taken for granted, when you're focused on feeling taken for granted, you can't tune into not feeling taken for granted. You can't tune into receiving gratitude, okay? But now, since I express it all the time, my radio station, my receivers, I know it sounds really woo-woo, but I'm just trying to explain it in some kind of, you know, terms that are easy to imagine. My radio station is now on the frequency of gratitude, because I'm expressing gratitude, I'm broadcasting gratitude. I can communicate on this level, okay? By giving thanks. You recognize when others give thanks to you because you are giving thanks, so you're speaking the same language, and you can see it everywhere. I can see it everywhere. Everywhere I go, people smile, people want to connect with me. There's positive energy, and it's an upward spiral, okay? Because the more I give, the more I receive, the more I give, the more I receive. And it's the same with you. It's the same with you. Once you commit to really paying attention to giving thanks, spending time in meditation, spending time really focusing on what it feels like. What does it feel like to feel grateful? What does it feel like to give thanks? What does it feel like to recognize all that is good in your life? What does it feel like? Pay attention to that feeling. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this because it fills my heart. It fills my heart. And I'm actually a very emotional person, okay? And I don't want to overdo it sometimes on YouTube because I fear that people will think that I'm weak or that they will judge me because I'm so emotional. But I don't want to hide it no more. I am. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to emotional, to be able to relate, to share yourself vulnerably. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that a lot of people are just very uncomfortable with their own emotions. And that's why they judge it. So it's not because I am weak, but it's more because people are not comfortable with their emotions. And of course, you don't want to lose yourself in being emotional all the time, okay? You want to balance your feminine and masculine energy within yourself. If you're constantly crying and constantly sad and constantly emotional, you won't be able to get anything done. Okay? So it's important to balance these things. I used to be extremely emotional all the time and I didn't get anything done. Okay? So create a sense of awareness about yourself, about your emotions. Allow them to come up, but then also move past the emotions, okay? I showed a little bit of emotionality just now, okay? But I also know that I can't stay in that space forever, okay? It's a beautiful thing, but it's also important to tie it back, to not lose control, okay? To not fully just, sometimes it's good to lose control and to express things and to let them out, because we are always trying to control stuff like so rigidly, and you know, we are ashamed to express it fully, okay? But it's equally as important to not always lose yourself in these emotions, okay? It's a beautiful thing to show tears. It's a beautiful thing to show anger. You know, you can be angry. It's been a very profound journey for me to get familiar with anger, because I never really expressed it. And it was very healing for me to sometimes really express anger without hurting anyone else, right? I would do it in my room or in nature, and that's a very healing experience. But you don't want to get caught up in constantly being emotional, because it can become this addictive high almost, right? Once you discover how powerful it feels to express these emotions, it can become some kind of addictive high, okay? So you want to stay aware that you don't lose yourself in that, okay? But I'm not weak for showing emotion. You are not weak for showing emotion, for being emotional. It's an ability to to do that. It's an ability. It's an ability to relate. It can really allow you to deeply connect with other people, to deeply connect, because the more comfortable you are with your own emotionality, the more comfortable you will be with other people's emotionality, and the easier it will be to tap into their energies, their moods, their struggles. Okay, and so tying it back into the gratitude that I was talking about earlier, I actually feel very grateful for my emotionality, for my ability to relate, to emote. And it's been a blessing and a curse, because it caused a lot of suffering, but it also allowed me to deeply explore and experience what life has to offer. And I feel so grateful for that. And again, it puts me in a profoundly deeply touching mood, feeling, to realize this. And again, I become again emotional, because it took me a long time to make the connection from my head to my heart. It took me a very long time, because I was always in my head trying to abandon my heart, trying to abandon what I felt, because I felt like it was too much. I felt like it's not supposed to be like that. Man up, man. Come on, you don't have to cry all the time, or don't be so weak all the time. Okay, but at some point I made a connection, the from head to heart and back. Okay, and now I can regulate it. I can get myself together. I can perfectly get myself together and talk like a normal person again. But I can also let myself be moved by the emotion. And that's a beautiful thing. And that is what I believe can really allow you to feel connected with yourself and the world around you, if you become aware of these things, and if you become aware of how much you're living in your head and how little you're actually paying attention to your heart. And yes, of course, I still need to find this balance, because sometimes I go really into the masculine. I'm like, you can't be weak, you always have to be strong, never buckle, show courage, discipline, all these things, very masculine, okay? But then on the other hand, I also realize that if that's the only thing you're paying attention to, I think you're lacking something, you're missing something. And you want to integrate all parts, the feminine and the masculine. And of course, I'm speaking in stereotypical terms here, but it makes it easier to understand these concepts, okay? Don't get too attached to the terms. Don't get too attached to the labels. It's not really important, okay? What's important is that you learn to integrate all parts of your personality, and that you learn to accept those. And it's a journey, it's an ongoing journey. And that's really what I wanted to talk about. I feel incredibly grateful that I was able to do this. Like right now, it felt so authentic, so genuine. And I feel grateful for that. I feel grateful for you taking the time to watch this. And I hope you're having a beautiful day. And I'll see you tomorrow.